What are you stressed? Like, what are you feeling stressed out about? You're just not sure? There's
I
just
have
an underlying. Okay, this is an interesting topic,
I have
actually.
no fucking clue.
Do we become so good at telling our brains that we're managing our stress that our bodies can't keep up with us?
1,000. I know that's a fact for me. Specifically, one, because of how quickly it tells me. I don't even want to say quickly. I don't know how long it's been perpetuating that it had to be. To me, the body is like the last, not resort, but
Line
it's,
of defense.
yeah, it's like the last thing that's, it gives you so many opportunities, right? Until it can't anymore. And then now it's showing up bodily.
So, what mechanism is in place that we have strengthened so deeply that it has to get to the point where this is what do we call this? Anyway, my point is like what mechanism have we instilled that that persuades our brains that we're actually healthy? Like, I do feel pretty healthy, but I also know I have a lot of stress in my life. Am I actually managing stress if my body is reacting in a certain way? I guess is the question. And the answer is probably no. The answer is no. But how do we know?
To the max. Like this is a to the max degree. Obviously, my fingernail is separating from my nail bed. That's never happened to me before.
Because of the psoriasis, because of the stress,
Which is
because
always
of unknown, because
and
you've
that,
talked yourself out of acknowledging what it actually is. This is deep shadow work, though, really. If we're talking about shadow work before.
yeah,
It's in your subconscious.
has to be because
It has to be.
I keep asking myself, what are you so stressed about? Like, then I get nothing.
Do you feel unsafe? I tend to feel unsafe these days, and not so unsafe that I'm like fearful or stopping my life or doing things about it, but just being a single parent in today's economy with the responsibilities that I have, it just is it's crazy
Yeah,
to be an entrepreneur. It makes me feel unsafe at
that
times.
part, yes, 1,000%. I think there's
Yeah.
always
Am
this
I unsafe? No. There's
right.
places I can always go to for help, and I make money. That's not the problem. I would like to make more money. Wouldn't we all? I have an expensive lifestyle. I want to keep up with that.
Mm.
And also, I just like these two little humans that are in the mix that I am responsible to take really good care of. Sometimes that brings fear for me.
I think it's a mixture of all of those things where, and I like what you said about like I also have expensive taste. I have an expensive lifestyle. It's not in balance with my own, I guess, desires for that actual lifestyle. Like I'm both keeping up and I'm not, and not in a sense of like keeping up with appearances. That's not even important to me. Keeping up with what I want it to look like, obviously, also feel like how I can participate in it. Like yes, I'm fine fundamentally, and I know that, and that's the thing that's hard to decipher what it actually is because I feel incredibly safe. And to answer your question, I feel incredibly safe, and also there are parts of my life that do not. It's not a
Sure,
whole
and
thing;
fine
it's a
isn't a
parts
good
thing.
response anyways. I feel fine, that's not good enough because
Right.
you say you feel fine out loud, but you and I have both done enough work to know that fine isn't good enough. You want to feel something other than fine. What's
Yes.
fine? Fucking insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
That feels right.
Yeah. Right? Fine, I'm fine. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you actually want to feel?
Whatever's after relief.
Whatever's after relief, like a like on a frequency level above relief.
Because
Let's look it up.
I feel like that has been a baseline, so to speak, because something happens, right? I feel shitty about it and then I get relief. And so it's this like up and down cycle of I'm feeling stressed, I get relief. I'm feeling stressed, I get what's after that.
Emotional frequency chart. I'm going to start from the bottom and let me know what resonates because
Okay.
relief isn't on here.
Hold on. I'm gonna feel this. I genuinely want to feel this.
Ooh, I might know the one, but let's see.
Okay.
Shame, guilt, apathy,
A little bit.
grief,
For sure.
grief,
Mhm.
fear,
Mhm.
desire,
Okay.
anger.
Mm,
Do you want me to slow down?
no.
Pride, courage, neutrality,
Mm-mm.
willingness,
Mm,
acceptance,
mm-mm.
reason, love, joy,
Mm.
peace, enlightenment.
Okay, so it was somewhere underneath. Start off after apathy again.
I'm just going to quickly source check with some other ones to make sure they're the same.
Okay.
What did you say? Apathy?
Yeah, I go from
So
there up.
apathy and despair have, it says the level and the state that you're in.
Okay.
So, okay, and then above that is grief and regret, fear and anxiety,
Okay.
desire and craving.
I would say this bunch feels
Yeah.
this bunch right here.
Okay. So this is weak and destructive.
Weird.
Thanks.
Crazy.
Let me look at one other source. Oh God, this one's tiny. My glasses. Come on. Anyway, okay. So sitting somewhere in there though.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Okay.
I think mostly
Very logical brain says take one step up, not 40 steps up.
for sure. But I think because it's a clump and it's not like a place, what's the
Mhm.
next step, right? If I'm already at desire, but also feeling grief, I've already gone up.
Mhm. Yeah. So that clump, grief, fear, desire, craving, anxiety, regret. The one above that is anger.
I
So are you angry about something? Not really sure. Oof, anger is such a big one for me. I'm angry at so many
yeah,
things. Do
like
you think
what?
that, I mean, there's certain maybe I don't know why the word fabrics is coming to mind, but like threads
Hmm.
of all of this too. Like I feel very enlightened in many aspects of my life whilst being angry at
Right.
society
Yes.
or angry at situations or consequences or circumstance. Well, I'm never angry at consequences if they're my own, but you
Right.
know,
Yes.
more than one thing can exist. This is obviously just a scale and it's interesting. But knowing that, if you, I don't know, how do we use this? Do we understand what is bringing anger, pride? God, why can't I read? Scorn. I don't get that from you.
I don't either.
Yeah. And it's not, maybe it's not in order. It's just a frequency.
Sure.
Somebody tell us in the comments, somebody who's listening, emotional frequency chart. These charts typically rank emotions from dense, they're just low vibration states, to
Mhm.
expansive, high vibrating ones. Dr. David Hawkins' Map of Consciousness. Let's look
Yeah,
that
which
up.
I mean, we learned that. Was that not?
Yeah, we did. I remember learning this. Map of Consciousness. And we did a lot of this work in quantum Reiki as well.
Yeah. Oh my
Ooh,
God,
we should go
so
back to
much,
that
so much.
spreadsheet.
You know what, too? That it just reminded me of. He did this mirror activity of like taking one of
Mhm.
that lower vibrations and mirroring it to something higher so that it transmutes and changes, which I feel like I am so good at, and that's what's confusing to me because like none of this stuff one is new, nor is it something that's like ever debilitated at any point.
For sure. And this is, ugh, I hate that I'm about to say this.
I'll roll my
I
eyes.
roll. This is the Gemini in our chart.
Mm,
We are so good at intellectualizing and
yeah.
analytically providing some sort of solution to every single problem that comes our way that we don't actually allow our bodies to process what's present because we
Mm-hmm.
just talk ourselves into a very logical and reasonable explanation without
Mm-hmm.
actually doing the embodiment work required to transmute it. Oh, all these fun words. It's true though.
No, it
And
is.
then when it strikes, because I know when it strikes me, it strikes so fucking hard. I'll just start crying and there's no reason for it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this emotion is just coming out of me and I'm laughing about it because I'm like, oh, I clearly let this build up for too long. I don't even know what this is attached to, but it's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. I just get like daily depressions where it's like, I'm feeling real low vibey.
feeling I'm in my survival paradigm.
Yeah, it's like low grade depression on just like a random
Right.
Tuesday.
Yeah, but this makes sense. Like if there's a feeling of unsafety, right? That is that can be very survival instinctual.
Yeah. Well,
For lack of the right
and I
words, but
guess we'll ask ourselves this question: does that ever go away from somebody who's building something for themselves? Isn't there always just a general fear? Like I know crazy successful people that are still like I think it's possible for anyone, right? And so it's going to be a choice, mind you. But how does
I
one
didn't
get
have
away
it
from?
last year.
Yeah. Okay.
I genuinely didn't. Like when I had a very like when the school was still running and all of that was still happening and I had a very consistent high income, like not so like obviously I always want more because I'm that type of person. The more abundance I have, the more I can also share.
Right.
I had enough to cover my entire life though.
Right.
I had enough plus some. And
Yeah.
that felt really safe to me. So I felt that. I felt like so in the flow. I wasn't worried about money. I had zero worries about it. So yeah, I think it is possible. But again, I've also done the work to acknowledge that I had enough coming in and be um accepting in that. Is that the right word? I don't know. It felt
I think
great.
so. That was on the scale.
So yes,
Yeah.
I think it is possible. However, I think the people that get to and this is obviously me either speculating or judging,
Sure.
if you haven't done the inner work to know when enough is enough or
Right.
to appreciate a life that you have or to have the self-worth that needs to be connected to success to actually feel like if your definition of success is only financial, then you're never going to be successful. But if your definition of success is maybe something similar to mine where it's freedom of self
Mm-hmm.
and you genuinely experience that, then you do have a capacity or a level at where enough is enough. But it's a lot of inner work because you have to have that self-worth. Does it stay there? No, it doesn't. Because obviously in my fear now or in my lack of safety, along with that comes some lack of self-worth. Because now I'm like, oh my God, who am I to put myself in this position? How did I let this happen?
Right. Yeah. Shame, which was number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number 20, actually, on the energetic log,
Excuse me.
which is the lowest. Shame, humiliation, miserable, despising, pure consciousness, elimination.
This is so much reminding me of that. Now I want to pull it up. That whole anti
This,
thing. Like
yeah,
it's a this is
clearly
that.
it's where it stemmed from.
Oh, of course, yeah. But it was like this. This was the full on chart, just like this.
Mhm. And what was interesting about the quantum Reiki is that it gave a kind of a map to unwind energetically from it. So this is
Yes.
great information, but what we want to know is what do we do with
What do I
this
do with it?
once we figure out, right, the
Mm-hmm.
level or the energetic log that you're resonating in.
Right. Exactly.
And obviously you're moving in and out. We're not stuck anywhere ever. This
No, this
is
is why.
energy. It's
Right.
movement.
Exactly.
It's yeah. Emotions. Energy in motion.
So let's. I'm gonna pull it up and see like what's the
Great.
instruction. What do I
Let's
do?
see if we
What
can
do I do?
map you out right now. We're going to
This
solve
awareness.
this in real time. And I mean, my logical brain is all automatically going to just old paradigms of childhood too. You know, where parents are working their asses off to raise 3 children, to put them through all the sports. Like growing up, there was not much I wanted for. Our parents delivered. You know, they both had good jobs and still living paycheck to paycheck because of the expense that having children comes with. But God, like thinking about just, I don't know, this is such a stupid comment actually, because everything is relative. You know, sure, my mom's first job, like I'll never forget, because she told us all the time, she worked at a pizza shop and she made 25 cents an hour. Like that's fucking insanity.
Totally.
Insanity. And so obviously back then though, every cost of living was ridiculously cheap, much cheaper, and it was relative to what that was. So it's hard to even compare. But man, I'm hearing a lot of young adults not being able to do anything with their lives right now, even relative to wage, because it still just is not. We're not able to keep up. with the cost of living.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I've said this a gazillion times. Like, the way I grew up, I thought we were poor, and we weren't. So like,
Right,
there's
right, right.
always this like it is
There's some paradigm running,
instilled
yeah.
of never enough.
Yeah, never enough. Right. We always need more. Once I have X, then I'll feel Y is always such an interesting process of thought too, or pattern of thought rather. And the old comments, money doesn't grow on trees, was such a common one. Did I already even just say that? Maybe I don't even remember.
No, but it's just so stupid. Like, I get that, and it's so
It's
stupid.
hidden in my mind. It's so stupid because money literally grows on trees.
Literally, literally is made from trees.
Money is trees. Trees are money.
Trees are genuinely
Oh,
money. Like,
that
what are
was
you even
one.
saying to me?
Or what do you think? I'm made of money. We're
Mhm.
not made of money. That was another one. Yeah.
There's
But it's
so
not,
many.
but the paradigm just points to survival in all directions. It comes back to that, right? Did you find
Mhm.
it? I'm just
Mhm.
blabbing while you bring it
Yep.
up. Okay.
Nope. I got it. This is what I found. So these are the emotions here,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can see the associated chakra.
Mm-hmm. So
And
let's look at.
so then this is the method essentially of moving oneself out of that. So consciousness, subconsciousness, reality, unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So this is level one, right? The filter. This is the thing that we think is true. So
Mm-hmm.
asking the question, when did this happen? What is it? How? Why? When did it start? How did it happen? Why is it happening naturally? So these are the questions. Do you know of any other time you might have been affected by this? What were you dealing with around that time personally? How did it affect you? Why did it happen?
This is shadow work.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
This is level
absolutely.
1 of shadow work. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Okay. So listen for the keywords from the word map.
Yep.
Word map.
So this is
Mm-hmm.
essentially like how you would get to this information from, let's say, a clown or somebody else, but right now it's me. So
Right now it's you.
let's
Yeah.
let's just say we know already from the word map where it's coming from.
And you
Um,
do because you've used the word depression.
right. So
So solar
I
plexus,
can say this right here.
inner child,
Mhm,
hmm
mhm.
breath of life.
So this is, yeah, that's essentially that key that you would want to use for that particular thing, potentially
hmm
aimed at the solar plexus, but I think it can be all places.
hmm Well, and if you notice too, all of this is connected to the chakras because even the map of consciousness is colored per the
Yeah,
chakras.
yeah, okay.
So where you're sitting right now in the fear desire is all actually very sacral. But solar plexus is affirmation, it's feasible, it's permitting, it's empowerment. Like that's when it starts to get above the frequency line.
Yeah. hmm Which is funny because,
Um,
like, how I
but it's
know,
all willpower.
which has always been something that I say that I don't have
Why
falsely,
do you say
right? I
that?
don't know whether it's true or not because I just don't, like, to me, that's, I muster willpower with more willpower. Like, it's just something that's never, similarly to money, never enough, right? Never have, like, it's never full. The
Okay, but if you're mustering willpower with willpower, then willpower exists.
Oh, for sure, but it's never enough. It's never gonna get me. And this is what I mean when I was initially saying, like, what's past relief? That's what I'm waiting for. What's past that? Having to just continuously will myself into will. When does it become ease?
Sure. Does it? Does it become ease?
No effing clue.
What are you afraid of?
Uh-huh.
Let's pretend that the will did become ease. Just pretend in some magical world you just waved your wand and now it's easeful to just do all the things you want to do. What would you be missing out on?
Things were easy.
Mm-hmm.
Familiarity, which is just older versions of myself. It's like genuinely dropping all things that are of the past.
Right. Which feels what?
Here's the Gemini in me. Like, who fucking cares? And also there's clearly an attachment there, right? I can intellectually
Right.
say like it doesn't matter to me, and I know that to be true, and I can agree with those statements and still hold the tether, because potentially maybe then it's a feeling thing.
Exactly. I think you want it to be true. You want it to be true that it doesn't fucking matter, but there's something rooted
Right.
subconsciously where it very much does.
Very
It
much
very
so.
much matters because why?
Why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
This is what's formulating. If I feel like if I drop an identity, then I've lost. Then not even it's lost. I am now and lost, because if I
Right.
don't already have one, which I think is maybe a who cares? Could be a lie, could be a truth. Doesn't really matter. In my head, I think there is not an identity to then step into. So if I lose that one, loss.
Who am I?
Right.
Right. Right. And of course there's an identity. You have a very clear identity. It's just again, your enlightened brain or your spiritual brain going, I don't attach to that though. Right? So there's a bit of a bypass there. And the reason I can call this out is because samesies, right?
Hey.
Who doesn't have that? We all want to feel a sense of identity. And especially at our age, as women, entrepreneurs, like we better have it selling identity to other people. We better have a fucking identity. So, surprise, surprise, we're in the same space because I've said this on the podcast already. This summer is the summer of me releasing the identity. I didn't call it that. I called it the summer of finding ease
Okay.
and learning how to be productive and learning how to still feel productive and ease. But that's my identity, is productivity. Like I pride myself on always having something to do, always getting it done, doing it pretty well, learning. Like you watched me in real time before we hit record going to town on productivity.
Right.
So who am I without that is the question.
Right.
And it's only part of the question because it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's like a recalculating of what it means to be productive. And all of that takes time, especially if it's an identity shift. But that makes sense. So there's this fear, not only of security, but in the security of who I am as a person.
Yes. Which conflicts with what I'm genuinely feeling, which was, I think, the highest level was the desire, right? There's a desire, which then also plays into not enough, because if you're desiring something, that means that something is missing. And I think that's why it's such a low level, right, emotion, because there's a lack always in that space there. And so it's like, yeah, okay, I've done this a million times and it's great. And also, what else is there?
Maybe we can split up the desire into a couple of categories though, because desire as a whole package is a lot of different things.
So much. Right. And then that's
because there's certain things that I desire and some of those I need and some of them I want.
Similarly, not all of the parts or not all of the spaces have a desire. Some of the desires are going to be different, right? So it's not my whole self either, but it's obviously very fundamental things, because it's outpouring enough to know that it's an important part. And so I think potentially here it's what are the parts then that we're looking into, and where then is there an idea of lack, because one of those spaces is missing something, supposedly, right, as far as my body is concerned.
Do you know which it is?
Well, I'm just gonna let's name some parts first. We're gonna go parts work.
We're covering a lot of bases here today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Unprofessionally throw that out here. We are just two chicks that like our research.
So I'm going to say health. Physical wellness. Yeah. Let's say home.
That's right? like the symptom though. But I guess it'll help break it down.
Yeah, because I think sure it's a symptom, but even say let's say I'm not moving my body enough, right? Symptomatically, something's going to show up, but there's still something there that's lacking. Let's go love, right? or even just relationships of the general statement. It doesn't have to be romantic. Relationships, love. So let's do money, wealth.
It's a lot of things already. Security, safety.
Yeah.
You put that one in, or
Well, safety to me is like
sense of self,
a
maybe.
identity.
Yeah, sense of self, sense of identity, or purpose.
Okay. Purpose. I like purpose. Yeah, purpose. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do money, wealth, career. I feel like those are all sort of the same thing. Okay. I feel like that feels comprehensively human. Like, what other human things are possible here? I feel like I'm doing like a life audit.
I mean, a little bit. And this is a fair statement though, because again,
Yeah.
we say we're giving less and less fucks. And I know that's also genuinely attached to estrogen. Like if we want to look at it from a
And I
health
don't know where mine is.
standpoint,
Yeah.
right? If our estrogen is lowering, we are automatically going to care a little bit less just for the sake of what estrogen provides to us in our brains.
Right. Right. And I have no idea. Like I can tell that it's different, but I also don't know. Like I don't know where my levels were before. I don't know what they are now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. I don't know. I feel like I've always had pretty low. I've been pretty testosterone dominant.
Have you heard of a Dutch test? I want to bring my friend Nicole on the podcast to actually talk about this exact topic. And she's a functional medicine practitioner and she specializes in this. So we'll bring her on to talk about it.
So, all right, I'm confident with these few parts that we've uncovered. So, desire. That's where I'm finding. Let's see.
That was where I think the first hit came when I said that, right?
On the scale
between fear and desire.
I think that's where it stopped. Like I no longer felt resonant after that.
So what's it saying?
So there's what then? Desires that are keeping me stuck.
What's the part work say? What's it saying?
It's funny. I'm like I feel relatively solid. Yeah.
Can I throw something out?
Throw. Yeah.
And again, just because we're so similar and we've had such similar relationships too. There was a long period of time, I'll just use me as an example, where I talked myself in to requiring less because of some choices that I made in my life. I married a certain type of person. I chose to have children. I chose to have this type of career when I did, like all the choices in my life. And my brain has been very effective in justifying those decisions and consequent actions and reactions to be enough for me to accept where I am in my life because of the choices that I made. In order to be okay being stuck, which is fucking a full false sense of self.
Right.
Very obnoxious. You know, and I've listened to you for many years also justify your location in a relationship because it just is what it is. And you're fine with it. There's that word again. I'm fine with it.
Fine.
I don't need these things because I'm this type of person.
Yeah.
I think instead of admitting to ourselves that we're not that we need them, but we want them and we're deserving of them.
Yeah.
And it's the deserving piece that feels very hard to accept because once again, it goes back to self-worth.
Yeah. Because I already said it before. The dissonance, the disconnect is knowing that there is a desire and having that not be present, right? So that's where the lack is. because
And
I
also
fundamentally want it, but I'm not saying
sure,
that, right?
admitting that you want something too automatically creates the lack or the perceived lack or the potential for it not to be present in your life, which leads to
Right.
disappointment.
Yes. Yeah. All of that. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Hmm.
So you sitting somewhere in there? Is there something you're not willing to admit to yourself right now?
That I want.
Or just in general? I mean, you responded with that. So yes, let's go with that.
I think it's a perception problem, potentially. If we look at what I would consider to be people who are doing the work that we're doing and being successful at it, those people look so fucking stupid to me. And
Why do
maybe
we?
then
Yeah. Okay.
maybe then it's an identity part, right? Because I can't see myself identifying in that same lane or in that same way, right? Like when we were laughing about this before, like Aaron Doty, I cannot. I physically feel ill, even just the idea of like being in the same stratosphere. It's fucking cringy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he's not cringing at himself. You know what I mean?
If anything, these are invitations to focus, or not focus, but like reframe how it is we do want to show up. Because there's certain things I don't want
Right?
to do, like this, and like that just doesn't feel it doesn't feel expansive to me. It feels like real cringy. So we don't need to focus on the things that are cringy, but let them be information to the alternative or to the opposite of what it is we do want to be, which is
Yeah.
real and raw. And like I wrote it in my journal today. I'm going to share it vulnerably because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It says mountains. That was the card I pulled. Stand your ground. And I said, what came to me first was the work. Stay committed. You know, you have something really powerful here. And the work that I'm talking about is this very niche market that I'm in, that I'm trying to insert myself in, and the messages that I'm sharing, and our podcast, and all of this stuff. Like, I feel so confident about it. I don't want to change what we're doing to appease a false god,
Any of it, a false anything, a false narrative, a
a false
false god,
anything.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's
And
a
that's the
level of
thing. I
steadfastness
feel
to it that,
grounded in that. Sure, right. Like purpose wise,
okay,
great. I think when purpose then ties to the identity piece, then I'm like, ooh, okay. I over identify with the why, the purpose. Like that to me is bigger than me. Right. So then when I take it to a macro level, which is me, it gets funny, it gets fuzzy.
because do you not see yourself being big enough to hold it?
I was just going to say, do I not see myself in it? It's part of the cosm. Do I not see myself big enough to hold it?
Or worthy enough to hold it? Or is going back to the desire,
mm-hmm.
is the picture of it not clear enough so the desire is real? Is there an
It
aversion to it more than a desire?
has to be, because it's always been clear. I've always known really specific things. Like
Mm-hmm. So it's the
and
ambiguity that's creating an aversion?
I'm always adverse to ambiguity. It needs to be very specific and digestible in order for me to see it, or at least be able to see myself in it. Like it's very easy for me to be able to do that for somebody else, but the specificity that I need is very much so. And like it's interesting too, part of my human design, the arrows and things like that, like one of those for me is in detail. It's in the specificity. I can't just ask for something without seeing all the way till the very first step in order for it to actually become real.
You want to reverse engineer everything so you can build it from the ground up. Even if
Right.
it's instantly, you still go through the process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is fine. It's just something I'm aware of, but then taking it into account in those areas, which it's so hard. Like, it's not hard, but I think it's so layered and potentially interconnected that it's hard to say one thing. It's hard to be like, well, it's definitely in this area, because that then leaks into something else, right? My identity is going to play a part in my ability to make money and have a career and be wealthy and do all of these things, which plays into how well I take care of myself and the physical aspects of everything that I do. And so I think the answer for that is, because that is true, right? Focusing on one is going to bleed into the other no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. And with how analytical you do tend to be, it's going to be challenging for you to just pick one thing,
So stupid. Yeah, for sure.
right? Because generally speaking, that's the next move. Pick one thing to focus on that you can enhance, improve, work on, expand your capacity in. So what's that one thing going to be? And I think trusting that one thing also will bleed into all those other areas. But
Mm-hmm.
how does one decide?
Like, who's calling my phone, like, who's genuinely at the other end of the line of the call, whatever pull or desire that I'm feeling, what's on the other end. So I just need to answer
I
the
feel like
phone.
this is an important topic, and I also feel like this can be part one of two.
Mm,
So this feels like a good place to end this, and we're going to keep recording.
great.
But stay tuned. Stay tuned next week to learn who decides.